Hi, son. So my microphone is blinking, which means it's being weird and fickle and Mercury retrograde funny. So I don't have a microphone. Can you guys hear me? Is this good enough? Is the sound going to be good enough? What do you think? What do you think? Can you hear me well enough? Okay, until somebody gives me feedback, I'm just going to keep talking. It's good enough, Ashley? Okay. Then we're just going to go with it. I have you closer to me than usual, so you might get to see a crow's foot or two. Hey, Venusian. Oh, look at my baby tooth. It's coming out. I ate a really hard dried mango. I bit on it, and my baby tooth lodged in it, and it yanked my baby tooth forward. And now I have to get it replaced because it's coming out. I thought I would keep it forever and ever. It's my cutest tooth. Look. Look how cute it is. Had a perfectly good root and everything, but time to go to the dentist. I'm growing up. Losing my baby teeth. So we have the conjunction of Sun and Neptune today. This happens once a year, but this is the last time it's going to happen in our lifetime in Pisces. At the 29th degree. 28th, 29th degree, 28th, 29th degree. We're getting to the end of it all. These are significant degrees because we have the total closing of the largest cycle. All the signs represent that mini cycle within a cycle, a month within a year. And we have the mini cycle, the day within the month within the year. That's the degree. That's the day within the month, 30 degree. Within a 6-month period, half the chart. Within the year, the full chart, the full 12 signs and houses. So we have the very last of it. We're at our most elderly. We're at our most elderly state, you could say. Man, I am so tired today. I'm sure a lot of us are. There's just this lack of motivation and bunched upness. Yeah, Marie, tensed. It's like if you want to do something hardcore, it's very hard to do it when we have this conjunction because it's such a relaxing influence. It puts you to sleep. Sun conjunct Saturn puts you to work. Sun conjunct Mars puts you in motion. Sun conjunct Venus puts you into you go to the mall. Sun conjunct Uranus, we go somewhere new, somewhere we haven't been. Sun conjunct Mercury, we go to the library. Sun conjunct Pluto, we go to the bank. Sun conjunct Jupiter, we go to church or to the mountaintop. maybe a trip. Depends on where we get our comfort and our growth. I don't think I left anybody out. So with Sun, Neptune conjunctions, we go to bed. Or we go to the woods. We go to where there's peace. We go to where there's quiet, where there's solitude. The pace is not frenetic because we don't have the ego in a strong state where action or acquisition or something other than Neptune is the reflective quality. It tells us what we are. So Sun, Neptune, we don't know what we are. In the natal chart, we don't know what we are. We could be anything. We have identity issues usually with Sun, Neptune, hard aspects. Sun in the 12th. Sun in Pisces can struggle with that, with other things going on. So there's this possibility, this new cycle of possibility, this new cycle of spiritual attunement, this new cycle of addiction, this new cycle of escapism. It depends on what you do with it. Sometimes we're successful in certain areas of our life with certain cycles and we fail in others. Strong possibility of failure when Neptune's involved because of the nature of him. So deceptive. It's our own illusions and deception that we have to cut through to find out what's real, what's true. So let's uncover our creativity, our authentic solar power. What is it that makes your heart sing, makes your heart burst, what fills your heart? And this is a day to come completely out of illusion as well. You can start a new cycle of illusion and delusion. You can come out of it. You can start a new cycle of clarity. A new cycle of truth. Hey, Tiff. Coming out of confusion, coming out of delusion, and coming into truth. Sun was just conjunct to Saturn. This helps to bring us to that day of stark reality and acceptance of what is, the limitations, the fact of something, and then coming to what we wish to be true. What is and what do we want? So it's our proverbial spit in one hand and wish in the other and see which one fills up first. And so many of us are coming to a place of realizing how we've deceived ourselves, how we've been deceived. And a lot of our weak, undeveloped, escapist, addictive qualities come out. And this is a new cycle of getting to deal with it. What are those hungry ghosts that lurk in our basement, or with Neptune, our attic? How can we put it to rest? So I'm taking a 3-hour salt bath today. That'll be my ceremony. Meditating the entire time. Asking for guidance. How can I deal with my own weakness? My own insecurities, my own self-deception. So I can trust myself more. As I get older, I trust myself more every year because I find out what I'm going to do and put to the test. It shows me what I'm made of. Sometimes I'll have tests come in, like we all do, that on a conscious level I don't ask for. But there's some part of me that's ready. Part of me that wants to know. So seek to know yourself better with this conjunction instead of get away from yourself. That's the weak aspect of Neptune. I want to escape into something that promises something better. And when we really want to embrace what is good for us and what we can have now and what's available, what's reciprocal, what's available. This is when Neptune can really enrich our lives, because Neptune is elusive. And we often get caught up in Neptune because we can be glamored by what we don't have, what's missing. What is it? That isn't. It isn't ours. See, there's this Neptune-Pluto crossover. They both represent different aspects of craving what we don't have or wanting what we don't have. We can look at the kind of weak behaviors, infantile behaviors, lazy behaviors are within us. When it comes to wanting what we don't have, being concerned with what we don't have. Instead of appreciating what can come easy, what's already here. What is it that can appear say an answer to a wish, a prayer, that dream. What if our dream came true? What if our dream really came true? Would we recognize it? Would we be able to keep it? Would we want it? Sometimes the nature of dreams and fantasies is that they better exist in the ether or in the realm of possibility than in the realm of probability. Because there are some things, if you really look at it, maybe it's better left in the realm of fantasy. And there are some things, if you really look at it, could really truly enrich our reality. It could really work. And parse out some of the differences there. I mean, I have some fantasies that they're not meant to exist in reality. I only visit them in the realm of fantasy. Because that's the only appropriate or workable place for that to be. When I was younger, I think I wanted all my fantasies to come true. And really think it through. I mean, 16 Pomeranians. I already have 3. Probably going to have 4 by next year. In the realm of possibility, 16 is cute. It's a lot of yipping. I only have a double bed. And with 3, 4, that's going to be my limit. So, this is some of the things we're looking at with Saturn limitations, Sun with Saturn limitations, Sun with Neptune, fantasy and possibility. What's the reality of that fantasy? Does it actually make sense? There are others that do make sense. When they finally come into being, they will enrich our life. We won't push it away because it's out of our realm of reference. Like when I got horses, that was a fantasy. I always had a dream. It always had. And a goal. And it was hard work. It was a bit more than what I was bargaining for. Not a lot more, because I already knew that statistically, most people that get into horses or get horses, they're out of it within a year. It doesn't last. Because it's not what you think it's going to be. It's a lot of labor. It's expensive. It does take time. And you can know all those things, but once the reality hits you and you're like, I have to pick up manure every day, even in the rain, I got to trudge out there and feed 2 to 3 times a day, even if it's cold, even if it's freezing. I got to get the ferry around here sometime. Da 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 da. This isn't for me. I don't have the time for this. Hi, Sama. Thank you. Well, I decided I did have the time. I did have the passion. It was for me. And that was something that I needed to see. Is the reality gonna... Is it really gonna work for me? This is what a lot of us will find out. Is the reality of what we've wished for really gonna work for us? It won't take that long to find out, because the sun is going to come into sextile to Neptune not too long. And that'll be that first test, that first look back at what we've begun now, the cycle of realistically grounding our dreams and fantasies, the fantasies that are good for us. We don't want to bring the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man into reality. So this is the thing, when we don't really look carefully at what's good for us, what we can handle, what we're prepared for, then we'll have a fantasy. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man shows up and it wreaks havoc in our life and we push it away. Envision a horse, like I did, named Bandy, who needed a home. She was a very Neptunian dream. She was my first horse, my first pony. I got her from the horse trainer that I was taking riding lessons from. So I've been taking lessons on and off for years. I started riding in England as a child, and that's why I still write English. But she had a pony come in to uh, her summer camp, her horse summer camp, that needed a home. Bandy was just perfect for me because she was just almost 14 hands high. She was right between a pony and a horse, so I always called her a horny or a horse. And she was owned by this guy that ran this camp that abused her. He was terrible to her. He was horrible to her. He was this big, fat older guy. And she was not a big animal. She was a fine boned, smaller horse. And he would just act like he was Mussolini on her and had her so hypervigilant because he would beat her with a metal pipe. And she was so hypervigilant and afraid to make any mistakes when I got her. She was just so sensitive. Like anything that you asked of her, she was going to make sure that she was there with bells on because she didn't want to get beat with a metal pipe. It was really, really a terrible situation. It took about 6 months of writing her and just getting to know her and proving to her who I was. This is who I am. You're going to get consistency. When I show up and deal with you, this is what you'll get every time. I'm not going to pull a fast one on you. This is who I am. It took 6 months to prove it to her. And then one day I was writing her, and she just relaxed underneath me. All at once, she just took this inhale and she relaxed. And she made that decision to trust me. It was right at that moment. Enough time, enough proof, enough consistency had gone by that she believed me. She was so much easier to ride after that day. She was so easy. She became, her reputation before was that nobody who wasn't an extremely advanced rider could ride her because she was so sensitive that she would just take off at just the tiniest hint of pressure. And so she was unreliable, but not because she was cruel or mean. She was trying to do the right thing to the degree that it worked against her. But after her time with me, she became the star of children's horse camp. Because I would loan her back for 2 weeks to go to children's horse camp because she loved it so much. She got to see her horse friends there that she'd known for years. And she'd go back and spend time with the trainer, and she was the star. Everybody could trust her. All the children wanted to ride her because she was so easy. Friendly, reliable, balanced, gentle, relaxed. What you call bomb-proof. She was a really good horse. She was a dream come true. I was a dream come true for her too. You know, we find each other, pets, people. We find what's good for us. We also attract what's not so good for us because those are our lessons. Those are things that help refine us so we can have the things that are good for us. So a mistake is an opportunity to learn. We can really understand that today with the Sun conjunct to Neptune because there's a vulnerability and there's an openness. There's a, heart space that usually is protected. Our sensitivities are front and center when we have Sun Neptune. Easy aspect, any aspects. So it's a new cycle of compassion, spiritual awareness. The ideal, connecting with the ideal. Think of what that is for you. So I'll take a few questions here if I rambled long enough. I'm just going to take questions from channel members, and super chats that come in here because I can't get through everything. Hey Ashley, hey Marie, hey Ryan. Venusian, you have Sun conjunct Neptune, Uranus at Aquarius, Pisces, man. You love your bed, and also going into the woods. Oh, vitality is always low. Not unusual. Sun conjunct Neptune, it is. Vitality is low. We're more relaxed. Sun conjunct Neptune. Sun conjunct Saturn. Our vitality, our energy is more directed, funneled. Sun conjunct Uranus, it's more scattered, or it's available to us. It's not that it's not like a Sun Neptune relaxation. We're more hit and miss when it comes to Sun Uranus. Sun Mars are just balls out energetic. Sun Venus, that's also more lazy. Sun Jupiter, lots of energy, lots of vitality. That's very exuberant. Like the optimism drives us forward with that one. Oh, it's so nice. Sun Pluto, we're just ambitious as hell. All about acquisition. Proving ourselves. Sun Mars, Sun Pluto, Sun Saturn. Energy goes into proving ourselves. Sun Neptune goes into dreaming. Goes into watching TV. Goes into smoking our bong. A better expression would be maybe swimming. Finding a sauna. Hey Tip, I didn't see you on Saturday. I'll text you back from my website and see what's going on when it comes to you joining us on Saturday for Saturday's classes, if that's what you want to do still. Hey, time to heal. Hey, that sounds like a good idea. Oh, you've done something for people. That is an excellent, a gift, a Sun Neptune gift. This is beautiful. Good for you. You're using this day well. Hans, you're in the salt bath now. I would like to be there too. Maybe I'll go do that when we're done here. Oh, Samad, you have Sun Uranus together natally in 18 Capricorn. You're loving this energy. Ah, sextile to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Space Monkey. Hmm. Well, it sounds like you have incoming passion that's building here. It might wax and wane as it comes into focus. Hey, Julia, what do I think about horary astrology? It's not my specialty. I haven't studied it fully enough to feel completely confident in that. That's something that I tend to refer to another astrologer in my network that does specialize in that. But it is something I'll look at for myself. Hmm. It has a place. Um, Honestly, horary astrology, I think you need to be a really old and extremely experienced astrologer to do that kind of work. Maybe when I'm in my 70s or my 80s, I'll be able to do that. I'm not smart enough yet. Oh, you're welcome, Alberto. Hans, that's so funny. I'm just looking at all of your stuff here, not talking because I'm reading. Ah, Hans, North Node conjunct Lilith, and second, about realizing your own worth. Well, anything at the North Node is a part of our dharmic path. Anything, any planet, asteroid. That's something in our personality that can keep us right on the rim of the needle or can help our ascent through the eye of the needle. Yeah, I look at the North Node like a black hole, right? It's this hole, it's a wormhole. And there's this spinning force, this gravity that gets ever heavier and more condensed at that rim of the North Node. South Node, too. And we can get caught up in the spinning of that gravity and maybe never completely go through the eye of the needle. Never get to have that complete experience of shedding. Because, oh my God, that hurts. Shedding your karma. It hurts. It's not something to be what's the word? It's not, you don't joke about that. we these days, like in the West, we glamorize that process. I don't know if you've ever been sick as sick on ayahuasca. That's what it's like, shedding your karma. I mean, you do pay a price to go through that eye of the needle. You will lighten your load. You have to. But if you're not, if you're getting caught up in the obsession, the eating, the consuming, the materialistic properties of the North Node, you're just caught up in that heavy gravitational force right on the rim and telling yourself you've gone through it. But if you're still about being caught up in that material instead of going through, because it's a wormhole, we're going through, it leads you to the south node, it's mind bending, the north and the south node. If you go through it, you create the most beautiful karma. If we don't go through it, it's like the experiences condense even more. The current state of our karma just gets ever more heavy on the other end. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, guys, I have only a few more minutes, so if you want to get any more questions in there, this would be your time. And I think I'll pop over to Instagram for just a couple of minutes, but I think I am wanting to go up and get into the hot tub. Actually, no, the sun came out. Maybe I'll go plant something. Oh, if you want to get in on my Obsession and Limerence group, and this is also something that could be helpful if you're on the path of the High Priestess or caught in a twin flame journey, or just a regular old obsession, or even a challenging or difficult relationship that you're currently involved in, you can access my website. If I remember, so bad about paperwork, I just don't like doing it. I'll put the link here on this channel. That's a critical weakness when it comes to me as a business person, is the little things, the paperwork things, the links. It's not good. It is helping me from growing. I do intend to address that this year. You can find that on my website. I'll try to link it here. if I if I can get past my inner resistance. So that's not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And my divine counterpart, Mark, the Emperor, will be helping me. He is a licensed therapist, so he brings a lot of skill to the group. He's also been through this journey on his own, and we're a good team. What else as in housekeeping? My transit course, you can access that every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time if you sign up for that, and my channel member tier. And Saturdays, if you're interested in synastry interpretation practice, we meet for that, 12 p.m. Pacific time. And I will create that group here. I haven't done it yet. And natal chart interpretation practice, Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Workshops, I will be running a few of those, particularly about upcoming events. The United States Uranus return. I will be doing a workshop on analyzing the natal chart of the United States, the progress chart of the United States, upcoming events, happenings, what we can expect. I'll be doing a workshop. I ran a couple of years ago on the transits of midlife. I'll do that one again. You have a few ideas. I'm still working on my tarot deck, which I will release. I don't know when, maybe next month. That'll be a good one because that's an astrology tarot deck that will also work as a learning tool. You can use it to learn aspects, degrees, different things in astrology. It's like a workbook in a deck there. There's a study deck that's also excellent for readings, prediction, oracle use. So we have one question here. Let me get to this, and then I think I'm going to sign off. Trying to touch the heart here. I'm trying to touch the heart, and I just saw Neptune moment. Sarah, any thoughts on the Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, stellium, in composite? Oh, hey. That sounds pretty good. Moon Mars is a lot of passions, a lot of feelings. You can be very reactive. A lot of sex in a composite chart with Moon Mars aspects, for good or bad. The conjunction's better than some of the other difficult aspects, where it's more makeup sex rather than a sex for the sake of passion or the mutual expression of libido. So it's less complex with the conjunction and with Jupiter there and Venus there. It's going to soften things, bring appreciation, forgiveness. It's going to make it not so harsh and about getting it in. Moon Mars aspects in composite chart, they're like, it brings out your animal nature when it comes to, cutting your piece of the pie. It's not the most romantic way. Shh, girls. Shh. Shh. It's not the most romantic way to approach each other. And we can get very frustrated when the other person doesn't give in. So the tension that's there in composite charts with Moon Mars aspects, it comes from the libido drive, the sexual drive, not being able to express itself directly, and then it comes out as anger, backbite, frustration, because there's this blockage to the ease of sexual expression, and we don't realize how crabby we get and how touchy we get. This is why people with hard aspects between Sun and Mars in their charts, that's one of the reasons why they are so hair trigger, so touchy, because they don't have that consistent, lustful expression, libido expression, sexual expression. So it'll build up and you turn into like this touchy boxer that wants to pick a fight with everybody, where, if you had a blow-up doll or somebody else that was available at all times, then you may not have as much of a problem. Something to think about. I know, next time you see a Sun-Mars guy on the verge of starting another bar fight, just throw him a blow-up doll. He'll do fine. Diffuse the situation. All right, guys, that's what I've got time for. Uh, Sama, she can confirm. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll hop onto Instagram for a few minutes, and then I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye bye.